The Sega Master System was released in 1986 in North America. With it, a ton of amazing games were released, and today we are looking at some of the earliest platformers on the Master System. Now, the platforming genre can have a lot of elements to it, which makes it so fun. There's tons of different platformers on the Master System. In fact, I think I've counted 50 of them. For this video, I'm just showcasing 10, but stay tuned as I'll cover the rest in other videos. Now, if this is your first time on my channel, or if you just haven't yet, make sure you hit that sub button to watch plenty of Sega Master System countdowns. Okay, let's dive into the earliest Sega Master System platformers, so make sure you get your timing down. Ghost House. A spooky romp through Count Dracula's incredible haunted house. You're Mick, and the good news is that your grandfather just told you that you'll be inheriting the family jewels. A flashy collection of diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and even opals. It's all yours. Well, the bad news is that they're hidden inside Count Dracula's mansion, and they have been for years. First, you need to wipe out all the bats, Draculas, and eventually their annoying henchmen. Then, you have to find the hidden keys and passageways that should lead you to your family's long-lost treasure. Ghoul luck, you'll need it. Teddy Boy. As Teddy Boy, you must use your gun to shoot at enemies that come out of boxes that are scattered around the level. You have limited time to do this. The number of enemies that come out of these boxes depends on the number being shown on the face. When you shoot enemies, they turn into little balls which you quickly need to collect. If you do not, the balls will be transformed into little creatures that eat away at the time. Once you have destroyed all enemies, you advance to the next level. When you stand in the same spot for too long, the floor will disintegrate, causing you to fall down to the platform below. From time to time, you will play a bonus game where you get the choice of either a third-person shooting gallery or a treasure hunt. Alex Kidd in Miracle World. One of the best and earliest platformers on the Master System, Alex Kidd in Miracle World is a classic. The story and plot are a little strange, and Sega really pushed to have Alex Kidd as their mascot before finding Sonic, but this is a must-own on the Master System. The boss fights are pure luck though, with rock, paper, scissors mechanics, but don't let that sour your experience. The journey to take down Jenkin is worth it. It has beautiful graphics and lots of different gameplay. Almost all Master System owners have played this, but if you haven't, I highly recommend it. A great game overall. Wonder Boy. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to set out all alone through the deepest of deep dark forests? To live off the fruit of the land and fend off for yourself against nature's nasty woodland creatures? Have you ever wondered how you'd cope in the middle of a burning desert with nothing but a skateboard and a glass of milk to see you through? Well, now you have to, because Tanya, the love of your life, has been kidnapped and taken to the other side of the planet. Must be a small planet. You've got to get her back as soon as possible. Besides, she'd never forgive you if you didn't risk your life for her. Now, this is the start of the Wonder Boy series, although it would rapidly change after this. I've never played this version of Wonder Boy, but I did play Adventure Island, which is essentially the same thing on the NES. Alex Kidd, The Lost Stars. Alex Kidd The Lost Stars has similar gameplay like the other Alex Kidd games, but this one's easier and more designed for kids. Once again, you play as Alex, whose mission is to run through each location, knocking down enemies and obtaining 6 miracle balls. These balls are hidden inside the strangest places like golden eggs, the Fantasy Zone ship out of action, clamshells, Christmas presents, pumpkins, and even desk bells. Once you've obtained the 6 miracle balls, you'll have to run through all the locations again, but these repeated locations introduce new enemies. With all the locations, you're under a time limit as usual, and if time expires, you lose a life. Alex starts the game with nothing, but during the game he can collect power-ups that give him extra time and allow him to shoot enemies or jump higher. Zillion 2. You guys know how obsessed I am with Zillion, right? Well, Zillion 2 was a huge disappointment to me. It's so much different from the original game with an emphasis on action. You'll be able to control JJ on foot or on his bike, but the foot parts are much easier. They had such a unique formula for the first Zillion with the exploration, the puzzles, the computer system. Zillion 2 feels like a game made only for the arcade with its high difficulty and simple mechanics of jump and shoot. If this was a standalone game, I'd say it's a pretty good one, but it followed one of my favorite games of all time and doesn't really fit the style. It's a solid platformer, just ignore that it's related to Zillion. Montezuma's Revenge. You play as a treasure hunter named Panama Joe, whose goal it is to find an ancient treasure hidden by Aztec warriors deep inside catacombs. But beware, the catacombs are a large maze inhabited by monsters. Bouncing and rolling skulls, dancing spiders, disappearing and reappearing chains, and tons of fire await you. You'll have to find many keys and unlock doors in order to reach your goal. Panama Joe can jump and climb ladders, but doesn't have much to offer in terms of combat. That's why the monsters in this game should be avoided at all costs, because a collision with an enemy will cause a premature death. Psycho Fox. Psycho Fox is a platform game where you play as a fox and you must get through 7 worlds consisting of 3 areas each. At the end of each world, there are 1 of 7 bosses waiting to destroy you, but some of the later bosses are exactly the same as the earlier ones. The title can be a little bit misleading because you can also play as 3 other characters, including a hippo, a leopard, and a monkey boy. Each character has their own disadvantages. For example, Hippo is much slower than the other 3. However, all the characters share one thing in common. They can use their fists and punch enemies as they approach them. They can also jump on them and keep knocking them into the ground until they disappear off the face of the earth. If they don't make them disappear, they will pop back out and seek out revenge. Obstacles are scattered throughout the areas, including spikes, cannonballs, escalators, fireballs, and steam. You start the game with 3 lives. Once you touch an enemy, you're going to lose that. Lose all of your lives, and then it's game over. If the game is over, you can continue where you've left off, which I think makes it pointless. So many people call this a hidden gem on the Master System. I haven't played it enough to form an opinion, so I'll let you guys do that. Should I play Psycho Fox? Ghouls and Ghosts. Players progress from left to right and have to hack down the monsters with a sword. The journey includes ledges, ladders, lava pits, and slippery slopes. Different weapons can be collected by finding suits of armor inside chests. Each of the 5 stages has its own setting and a final boss. In comparison to the first installment, gameplay was tweaked and some additions were made. Arthur can now fire vertically and is able to collect weaponry from fallen enemies. The landscape is littered with a number of treasure chests that erupt out of the scenery, some of which are hidden and has to be found by way of a well-timed jump in certain places. The treasure chests can be opened with projectiles, resulting in one of 3 occurrences: the reward of a new weapon, some shiny new golden armor, or a hostile wizard who turns the player into an old man or a duck. Castle of Illusion. Sega's 8-bit system received its own version of the Genesis Disney platformer. The story and the main theme remain the same, but the game has its own unique levels and slightly different gameplay mechanics. To save his girlfriend Minnie from the Wicked Witch Mizrabel, Mickey must venture into the Castle of Illusion, crossing 6 levels, including a magical forest, a toy land, and a candy world. He must collect the gems of the rainbow in order to confront and defeat the witch. Each level features unique obstacles, enemies, and a final boss. The enemies can be defeated by jumping on top of them, and an alternative way is to pick up objects lying around, like rocks in the forest or blue balls in the toy level, and throw them at the enemies. Mickey's ability to pick up things and carry them around also leads to some sort of puzzle-oriented gameplay. By placing objects in the right spot and jumping off them, he can get to areas that are otherwise out of reach. In some levels, he also has to collect keys to open the doors. A unique type of object is the treasure chest. By jumping on top of one or throwing it, Mickey gets access to its contents, which may include extra lives, a health power-up, or coins to collect for points. Castle of Illusion is a fantastic game that I encourage everyone to play. It is one of the best platformers on the Sega Master System. So those were 10 platformers on the Sega Master System. Which one of them have you played, and which one of them do you want to play now? For me personally, one of my favorites is Castle of Illusion, but I really want to play Psycho Fox, so I'm going to bump that up my backlog. Let me know in the comments below which ones you want to play, and of course, while you're there, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel to watch plenty of Sega Master System content and to continue this series of Sega Master System platformers. Thanks for watching.